Hey YouTube, I'm Dylan, and today I'm going to be talking about why I chose Stanford over USC, even though USC had the program of my dreams. So the program I applied to at USC was called the Jimmy Iovine and Andre Young Academy of Arts, Technology, and the Business of Innovation. It's a super cool interdisciplinary program where you get to learn all about design and innovation and computer science and business and communication and audio, like all of these different things in one program. And since I have a lot of diverse interests, I thought this was the absolute best program for me and that I belonged here at USC. So in this specific program, they have a tight cohort of people, about like 25, I think, people in each grade level. Grade, do we say grades now? So it's like you have a little community within your program, so it's not just like you're swimming in a big pool of all USC students. It's like your program is very specific and you can become friends with those people in that program. So for my Stanford application, I put CS plus humanities, and I wanted the humanities to be art for this joint major program that they had, but it's actually no longer offered. And I learned that right before I went into my Stanford interview. But anyways, I did a little bit more research on what Stanford had to offer, and I was still kind of shaky about it. I wasn't sure. Yes, they had opportunities to learn about tech and design, but like sort of, it just didn't seem like USC's program where everything was in one place and perfectly bundled. So I went to USC's interview weekend, which they only have for students applying for the Iovine Young Academy. They had a presentation there where they talked all about their program and their ideas for the future and how literally this program does not exist anywhere at any other college in the world. Also, some other reasons why I liked USC was because it's beautiful, has a great campus, it's close to home. I live in LA. The USC Village is really awesome. Everything is accessible, it feels like, because the city is just right outside, so you can go anywhere. And of course, the program is amazing, and I would be surrounded by people who were just like me with similar interests in a billion different things. Fell in love, was totally convinced that I was going to USC if I got in, but then I got in to USC and things started to change a little bit. So I got my financial package from USC before they finished actually processing all my information. It was weird. No other school did this, but USC specifically wanted me to submit so many financial documents. So I hadn't even finished submitting all of them yet, and then they sent me what my financial aid would be, although it wasn't my actual financial aid. So when the temporary financial aid package came out, I found out I didn't get any of the USC merit scholarships. So it looked like I was gonna have to pay $70,000 or whatever, you know, the super expensive price. And I was like, no, thank you. But I did have in the back of my mind that I did not finish submitting all of these extra documents they wanted me to submit. And once I did that, I would find out the real price I'd have to pay. But during that time where I was waiting, after I did submit my documents, I was admitted into Stanford. And then Stanford sent me their financial package, and they did not want any of these extra documents. And so their financial package was a lot more generous than USC's. I didn't know which school to go to now, because I could either go to USC, which had my dream program, and pay a cajillion dollars, or I could go to Stanford, figure out how to make it work in my studies and not pay as much. So in that time, I just had to convince myself that I was actually going to go to Stanford because I couldn't afford USC. And of course, Stanford is Stanford, so they have the opportunities that I'm looking for. I just had to research more, which I did. I found out that they have way more opportunities than I thought to study the things that I wanted to study. And when I went up to Stanford's admit weekend, I really got to understand this. They talked about their flexibility so much. It was like a constant thing that they kept saying, how Stanford is so flexible and you can take classes in whatever you want. If you want to dabble in this, explore this topic, sure, go ahead. You want to try this? Okay, you don't have to declare your major till the end of sophomore year. This got me really excited. And I also looked into their other majors that I hadn't thought about before. For example, science, technology, and society. I looked into their courses and they have different concentrations that you can study. And so some of that interested me. But then I also found this other major called symbolic systems, and there is a concentration in there called human-computer interaction, which sounded really interesting to me. And it combines like design, technology, and psychology all in one. And so that sounds fantastic. And I'm going to try to look into that, although I'm still not completely sure. So I really, really loved Stanford's flexibility. I know at USC, maybe it's not so flexible. It was just like, this is your program, this is where you stay. You don't really have that option to just explore a whole other major if you just wanted to. So at this point, I had fully convinced myself I was going to Stanford. And then USC sent me my actual financial aid, and it was a lot better than I expected. But it was still higher than Stanford's. So I chose Stanford because 1, it was cheaper, and 2, it still has all the opportunities to study the things that I wanted to study. I don't need to be confined to a specific program. I can take classes in whatever I want and intertwine the two, and there are clubs available, and there are so many resources and people who just want to help you out, and I'm really, really excited to start there in the fall. So I just wanted to clear up, I still don't know exactly what I want to study. I do think it is a combination of, like I've been saying, design, computer science, entrepreneurship, psychology, like all in one, but I also love musical theater, so I would love to take classes in that, and I think Stanford is more flexible to do that with than USC. But yes, I still do not completely know what major I would like to go to. I'm gonna try things out, and I'll probably make a video on that in the future once I figure that out. But thank you for listening. If you have questions, if you want to know more about anything that I just talked about, if you have other video suggestions, that would be cool. You can comment down below too. All right, see you later.